My colleague and me, we designed the AutoGen, we started and released in October last year. And what was our idea? The idea was that we wanted to see the future of the AI application, especially after having seen such a kind of amazing power of the LLMs. And how can we empower every developer to build this kind of application? Basically, AutoGen is programming framework for agentic AI. So where you have a multi-agent framework to solve a complex task for your daily usage. So originally, before we even kind of released the GitHub repo, so we tested our programming framework on 6 different available for academia frameworks. Such as the math-solving problems, retrieve for agentic question answering, and decision-making as household tasks. That's just available to us data sets. And we also tried it for supply chain optimization and also some other things. We spend a lot of efforts on evaluation. And by saying we, in particular, I spend a lot of efforts on evaluation, and we will deeper dive into the evaluation in the next slides. But we also try to enable more people to build the agentic AI, so that's why we released the AutoGen Studio, which makes it very easy for you to build a workflow, even if you don't have any coding experience. So, we are working towards learning, teaching, and optimization, so which is, again, very important topic, and we need to pursue it we're trying to pursue it with all the community, and you have opportunity to add to that too. And of course, we want to go through different types of integrations. Basically, the main goals is, like, we have seen this spark amazing opportunities and capabilities which LLM brought us, but can we convert them into the utilities that we actually making the end user life better? Looking into also like getting the inspiration from the robotics frameworks, where satisfaction is defined, but also people look at the different criteria. So we designed this very simple framework. So it's getting more complicated now if you will find it in the library, but stick with me, just like this is a main thing here. So you have a critic agent. So this is like one of the agents where you describe your task and you give it the logs of your solutions. Like basically, again, what kind of logs we have. We use a conversational programming, so those agents that converse into each other to solve the task. So, and then the agent is able to come up with various criteria and its accepted value. For example, here I demonstrated for the math problems because I assume every one of us are kind of advanced in math and can see this makes a lot of sense. There's no effort from you. You just give a description to the critic, and critic comes up with criteria which might be important for your solution. And then the quantifier agent can take any solution you propose and can quantify how is your particular solution kind of doing well or not well on a particular criteria. By the way, it doesn't have to be doesn't correlate or may not correlate with end satisfaction, because it's not there for this. It's for you to understand the utilities. Like, is it any utility you bring to the end user? And here I wanted to also emphasize that when you create those criteria, you need to kind of think about those as a task-based criteria, the criteria which is just based on task description, but you also need to provide the solutions. Do you remember we have seen the code efficiency here? So basically, like those, one of those kind of criteria would not be suggested for you by LLM because it's kind of not seen before that programming languages would be used for solving math problems. How can we trust the quantifier? Because it's just LLM call. And we also concerned how can we trust the quantifier? Is it robust or not? And that's why we are working on towards adding the verifier here, where we can basically simply verify if the criteria is not necessarily bad. Criteria might be good, but it just data you have there is not enough to assess the criteria. Making we adding the verifier for you, which basically you can run it in one go. Critic, quantifier, and then the verifier can suggest you which criteria you should or you should not trust, and hopefully return you the score for this. And again, you could do it with a number of, depending on like how many calls to LLM you want to do, how slow is that. But basically, without any efforts, you can assess the quality of your application and see what is delivered to the end user. So join our Discord, and there's a number of ready research papers happening on top of the AutoGen, and we try to have our blog up to date. But most importantly, if you think it's important research direction, help us to develop it and contribute. Thank you.
Thank you so much.